The Creative Collective. Collaboration, not competition.
You okay with this, GDPR and all that?
No, this isn't going out anywhere.
See you next time.
That was good, wasn't it? Well, there you go. Episode number 72.
72 meetings of the Creative Collective done and dusted, and this is right after the 72nd meeting. We've decided to start a new thing. We're going to come on, assess what's been going on for us for the past couple of weeks in the Creative Collective, and possibly the creative world.
Yes.
More stuff.
Creative world, more stuff. That's the tagline, isn't it?
I was going to say the wider creative world, but I started the world come in far too early, so I ruined it.
Well done. Okay, here's a test. Can you remember what we were going to call this segment?
We were going to call this TCC Bits? No.
Oh, brilliant. No. Bits. No.
TCC Bite Size?
No. I mean, this is brilliant content.
If you're listening at home, thank you. We'll be here for another 5 minutes or so. No, I can't remember.
It's TCC Snap.
Welcome to TCC Snap with me, Martin Whiskin, and him, Ben Bowles, from the Creative Collective. TCC Snap. So a really short roundup of what we've been doing, what we're going to do, and all that sort of stuff. So Ben, would you like to start?
Well, let's talk about the meeting, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I think it was a belter. It was an absolute belter. 40 odd people in the room. 43, 40. I think we maxed out at.
43 people in the room, which was extremely good. We had 29 booked on to come, and 23 of those turned up, plus 20 members. Incredible turnout. We've not had over 40 for months and months and months.
I thought you were going to say we haven't had over 4 people for months and months and months, which is also true.
We've never had less than 20.
No, there's been a couple of times though where it's got to about 5 to 1, and people on Eventbrite haven't. There's been a few people, so we've really relied on the members, and we thought, is this the time where we go below 20? And it's again summer holidays. That's the big one, isn't it? That's our kryptonite. Summer holidays is our kryptonite.
And there's nothing wrong with being less than 20. It's just a figure we've got in our head that we've never been less than 20.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely, it's completely irrational.
And every year, what happens is I panic during the summer holidays. Where is the group falling apart? And Ben says, "No, it's summer holidays." See what happens in September, all right? And then it picks up again.
There you go.
See you again next August.
And so November 6th. 43 people. Pretty good.
Awesome.
Love that.
What
was your highlight of the meeting?
My highlight of the meeting is difficult, because I'm doing all the breakout rooms and things, trying to make notes of what people are saying to help do some connections afterwards. I kind of just don't see a lot of stuff happening. I haven't seen anything in the chat. Apart from one comment that when someone was talking, giving another compliment to your jumper, someone put in the chat about looks like grounds for divorce, that jumper. For context.
Hang on.
And he's wearing a jumper that his wife made him.
Hang on. Someone said this jumper was a grounds for divorce.
Yeah, Andy said that.
That's amazing.
Who said that? Andy. Of course it was Andy.
I bloody love that.
One of our newest members getting stuck in already.
Yeah, that's excellent. Because on the whole, my jumper had a positive reaction, but Andy brings balance. So there we go. So
it's important. It's important.
It's very important. Yeah. Good. So what's been happening in the creative world? Let's see if we can sum that up in 5 minutes. I'll tell you what I'd like to talk about. I know I asked you the question and then I've just gone and answered it.
It's fine.
But a social media post that I saw, I won't name names. They put a screenshot about a conversation they're having about pricing. And the whole gist of the post was that the creative sector is fooked. And, it's a race to the bottom, and how can people make money, and all these people chasing the really cheap creators or creatives are just going to have to redo it in a couple of months. So it's a false economy and blah, 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 blah. It's really, really negative post. And I thought, yes, of course, the creative sector has its challenges and people are struggling, but I don't think it's as simple as it's the creative sector is buggered. What do you think?
I've seen lots of posts like that. There is a lot of negative and it's very easy to get sucked into it. But when we're talking about balance just now, I have started to see lots of very well followed accounts posting things about exactly this, but with a positive spin on it. So it was just after the ITV job posting that they put on LinkedIn. Did you see that one?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So it was ITV put a job up, 80 to 90,000 pounds a year for an AI engineer, I guess, someone to come in and use AI to come up with ideas for shows and characters and things like that. And it caused uproar in the creative industry, obviously, and they took it down. But it was shortly after that, so they're talking about all that sort of stuff. But I kind of look at it a bit. I know COVID was completely different and it had all its own challenges. But I think the people that knuckle down and drive forwards now will be the ones that survive. And I don't think everyone's going to lose their jobs anyway. There'll be a certain amount of reshuffling. But it's not going to be like, you know, like when we first met on networking during COVID, we were networking so that when COVID was over, we come out of it and thrive. And look at us today, still working hard, trying to thrive.
You're not thriving.
But I think what I'm trying to say is I think there's more people willing to put a positive spin on the state of the industry now, which is refreshing and good, and it will only serve to help people who do only see the bad side of it.
Yeah, good. Well, that's good that you've seen the other side of it, because I saw this, and I try and, to be honest, I do try and keep off a lot of social media because I find myself just getting annoyed a lot of the time. But yeah, if there is this other side with people that have a huge amount of followers and have a good influence, and they're talking up the creative industry, that's awesome. That is good, because I think that if more people see that could give the confidence to carry on. And I don't think it's about failure, because the only time that you quote unquote fail, I would say, in a creative business is if you literally stop doing it. There's always ways to carry on, whether even that's, we know people that recently have got part-time jobs and still doing the business, and then they're waiting for that to build up again, which it will, because they're not giving up, and then they go back to it, and then it peaks and troughs, doesn't it? So that's lovely to hear that there's an army of people that are being positive. That's good.
If it got to the point where you had to take a part-time job, what would your preferred part-time job be? You can't play pool player or something like that.
I can't be a pool player.
No.
A pool hustler. Go to pool halls. Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, ideally, I wouldn't want to, but if I had to, I'll tell you what. If it was more, this is a bit of a caveat, but if I didn't have to do that much and it was social hours, I wouldn't mind being a delivery driver. Just because I quite enjoy driving around, listening to podcasts, listening to music, traveling around, and yeah, delivering nice stuff is quite nice, isn't it? However, that's why I said the caveat, because I see the drivers and the turnaround is insane, and the stress is, if you're in traffic and you've got 100 parcels, so the reality of it, I think, would be very different to my vision of it. But yeah, that would be all right.
I've often thought about that sort of line of work as well. And I did actually do delivery driving for 2 days.
Okay.
And it was 2 days out of a 5-day trial period.
Nice.
And after the second day, I went, see you later. Really? I'm not coming back. It wasn't the driving, it was the conditions. Ooh. And this is going back before Amazon, or maybe not before Amazon was huge. So probably 20 years ago. But it was just, up at the crack of dawn, which I do anyway, but to get to the van, you have to wait for the lorry to unload all the stuff. You sort the stuff, you load the stuff, you sort the stuff for your round, then you deliver your stuff, then you come back, you clean the van, you park them, and all this. So it's a very, very long day, and it's not just driving. There's a whole lot of other stuff that goes with it, which I think people don't always realize. It depends what sort of driving job, obviously. So I would be a chauffeur.
Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you could run your own business being a chauffeur, that is a posh taxi, basically, isn't it? And so you get your driving, you get your traveling. You probably have to put up with a few wankers in the back, but that's all right.
Are we
you
allowed
just
to
put
keep that word in there?
It's our podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that. And if they get too annoying, you just put the tinted glass up, don't you, like in the movies?
Yeah. Would you be allowed to listen to your own music, though, if you were a chauffeur?
Headphones.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so we've done the best. What would be the worst part-time job if you ever had to come out of the creative industry or stay in the creative industry, but go into part-time job? What would be the worst thing for Whiskers?
That's a really good question. I used to work in shops when I was younger,
Okay.
like whilst I was still at school, so weekends and holidays and things like that. And I did quite enjoy it because there was loads of people my age working in the shops, having a great laugh on those weekend shifts. But I think I would hate it now, coming in, nearing 70. I just don't think I would enjoy it anymore. I think I don't know, man, the general public.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not because I don't enjoy talking to people or anything like that, but I would work in a shop near to where I live, and I know what it's like. I know what the shops are like around here in terms of, what the shopkeepers have to put up with. And I don't, so I think that would be my one.
Fair enough. Yeah. Mine would probably be working in a pub,
Okay.
because you would have the same conversations with the same people over and over and over again. And it would be really soul destroying, I think. Some of those conversations, you probably feel like this now, but some of those conversations that completely drain you of energy.
Yeah.
It would be like doing that for 8 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it would be awful.
Day
Some
in,
people
day
love it,
out.
don't they? But not for me.
Yeah. I used to want to run a pub.
Okay.
Just because it was when I was in bands when I was young. I was like, wouldn't it be great to have a pub that you put on music, you curate the music,
Yeah.
especially for local bands and that sort of thing. And I wanted to call it the Hulk Hogan Arms.
Oh. Oh my word.
I know. And I thought that the bar, underneath the bar, they sometimes have like the brass hooks or the supporting like the wooden shelf of the bar. You could have like biceps under there supporting. Oh, I thought about it a lot. And the stage would have wrestling ropes around it.
Oh my word.
Thought about it a lot, Ben.
I think we should bin TCC and open the Hulk Hogan Arms.
Although probably not now, because a lot of people sort of went off him when he, turned out to be a massive idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
things.
maybe what's a popular wrestler?
John Cena. Everybody loves the John Cena Arms.
The John Cena Arms.
Doesn't have the same ring to it, though, does it?
It doesn't, no. The John Cena Arms could work, or insert your wrestling name, Arms.
That was the joke, right?
And his wrestling themed. You could have all the pay-per-views and the overnight. So that would be a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Live bands.
So if anyone else, we should probably start a wrestling podcast as well.
Yeah. Why not? TCC After Dark. Oh no, TCC Snap WWE edition.
Imagine that.
It's got a ring in it.
TCC Snap. Well, I think that's probably the first app of TCC Snap. That was good,
Are we
wasn't it?
calling it? Yeah. Are we calling it there?
I think so. Oh, I
Yeah.
wasn't recording.